Just Blane here with Blaine's World. I gotta talk about something today. One of my favorite games of all time, Death Stranding. Check this thing out. Check this thing out. I dug this out of my closet here. This is the Death Stranding 1 Collector's Edition. And I got a couple things out of that, but I had kind of forgotten what I was in there, but I've got a BB right here. Check this out. I love this game. I'm telling you, this is one of the best games of all times. Hideo Kojima knocked it out of the park. A lot of people out there gave it a lot of flack. Said it was a walking simulator, whatever that is. I'm going to tell you this. It did take me a little bit to really get into that game. I played it for a while, till like chapter 2. And then, I fell off. And then when I finally did pick it up and get into it, at that point in my life, I was going through like a existential crisis, let's call it. And it was COVID. It was COVID. So there was a lot of craziness going on with the way everybody was feeling. But I sunk so many hours into that game. I can't say enough good things about it. It's one of those games that changes you, as weird and cliche as that sounds. But you know what? I've got to talk about some stuff. Actually, I'm going to show you this too. Check this out. This is from the Collector's Edition for Death Stranding 1. Let's see if it'll focus in there. There it is. Look at that. Pretty cool, huh? I never opened that. Never opened that. Ooh, Kojima Productions. All right, so this game came out in 2019, and I remember I was at E3. I want to say in 2018. It was 2018, and I saw Kojima at E3, and you know what? He was talking about this game, and he was talking about how it was going to change gaming forever, and this and that. You hear all that kind of stuff a lot, but when this guy was saying it, I believed it. I believed it, and I remember actually playing this game with other people, and what I did was here it is. Check it out. Here's Kojima. That's a blurry, awful photo from 2018, but I was in there for a press. I was working press. Right here, here's the badge. Blane Nicholas. Just Blane, baby. iHeartMedia. I was working press, and I happened to get to come see Kojima speak. I'm going to tell you, a lot of people in there were lost at what he was talking about. But I was riding with him. He made some solid games long time ago and has a bunch of ideas for new ones. I read this thing. I heard that he had a flash drive or something, and he's got it stored away, and it's got enough games on it for a bajillion years or something crazy. But I remember hearing him speak at E3, and I was hooked. I was hooked on what he was saying, and I really got hooked on that game. I did. I actually played that game, share play, for someone else because they wanted to get into it, and it was just hard to get past those first 2 chapters or so. But you know what? I want to open this thing up. Let me give myself some room here. This has to be one of the biggest collector's editions of all time. And oh my goodness. See, I'm about knocking stuff over. I don't even remember what's all in here. Let's check this out. I know I got the game out of there. I know I got something heavy in here. Oh, let's see. Let's get this out of here. Struggle is real over here. I'm not sure what this could be. Actually, I think I do know what this is. I think this is a Porter case. Whoo! Now, guys, I guess I didn't look at this. I didn't look at this and pay attention to how cool this actually is when I was playing the game. When I first got it, because I didn't really get into the game when I first got it. It took a year. It opens. Oh, there's some stuff in here. Check this out. Original packaging. English. Oh no, wait a minute. Oh, check that out. Unopened. That's some caution tape from the game when you put it on. This case is really well made. Look at this thing. A Porter case. And there's room for BB, so I did open this and remember getting it. And BB was in there. So that's pretty cool. That's awesome. I gotta go and show you guys this interview though with a guy named Dorian. Now, I promise I'm going to tie this back around to Death Stranding, but I was at FanX, I guess last year, and I happened to get to interview some people with this organization called Promise to Live, suicide prevention, great organization, but I went out there and talked to Dorian Kenji. Now, if you think, oh, I might know the name, he played Cad Bane.
All right, thanks for joining us here. We are with Dorian Kenji. Did I say that right?
Yes, sir. Perfect.
Wow, I got it right. My southern dialect, mixed with an LA accent and whatever else. It did.
Yeah.
If you don't know who this guy is, Cad Bane.
Yeah, I got to play Cad Bane. Star Wars show.
That right there, when you popped up on screen, even my buddy, like we were texting each other, like fanboying out on. I was like, hell yeah, because it was a live action version.
Yeah, it was his first live action version of having him come into the real world, and obviously that long walk down the desert was kind of a really cool reveal. I didn't know I was walking so far anyway.
Yeah.
And they go, you'll figure it out. And I go, oh, that makes a lot of sense. It's a cool reveal from sunset.
So that experience though, like, what was that like when you were doing? You were working on Star Wars. Like, what was that?
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing stunts and acting since I was 11 years old. So
Wow.
It took about 30 plus years to get into that genre, but I've done so many other different things, and trying to get into something that was Star Wars and or Western related took this long, so it was like 2 for 1 for me.
Wow.
And then being there and just trying not to mess it up, be like, oh, there's Favreau and Filoni right there, let's just make sure I do a good job. And it worked out, but I was just really trying to take it as professional as possible and just really do a good job, and I'm glad the fans were receptive.
Man, now tell me about some of the directing you do. Like, what have you directed here that people out there would know?
Me directing?
Yeah, did you direct something?
I've directed some short films on
Short.
my own and different kind of stuff like that. We're working on a couple pitch projects that we're doing right now that will be it's DC related, but like I said, there's nobody signed off on anything yet. We're just trying to do a little fan film, and then we'll release more about it when it comes down the road.
So I must have been missing. I thought you might have directed some Stranger Things, but you actually played
The Russian prison Demogorgon, were season 4, so that's what I ended up playing for Stranger Things.
That's incredible. And we
So
see some. You got the
yeah.
Funko Pops right here of the Demogorgons.
Yeah, they
Those things
did.
are terrifying.
Oh, they were. It's funny because I was such a fan of the show, and it took multiple seasons. Because when the first season came out, I was like, "That's awesome," and then I was like, "Oh, let me submit to season 2."
Right.
Let me submit to season 3, and I was like, "You know what? I'm just gonna be a fan. It's not gonna work out." And then season 4, they called, "We need a really tall Demogorgon." I was like, "Yes,
You're like,
I'm
hey,
available. Let's do this."
like, how tall are you? Like 6'4", 6'5"?
5. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, how long does that take? Like costume, makeup, all the things.
It depends on the creature and
Yeah.
the company that makes it, whether it's Legacy Effects or Spectral Motion. They have different processes. So, say like Stranger Things ended up being like a motion capture suit, but Cad Bane was all prosthetics.
Oh,
Wow.
So multi-layer prosthetics over your face, false teeth, contact, big lenses.
Yeah.
So it just depends on each suit and how they apply it. I've had ones where it's been like full body animatronic heads
Ooh.
and arm extensions, leg extensions. So you never know what it's going to be.
What a fun thing. Like, what a fun role, and just absolutely awesome. You had one more question.
No, go ahead, Bex. You had.
Yeah, so we are here with FanX, as you know, and also Promise to Live, which is an organization focused on suicide prevention and awareness. Suicide happens every 40 seconds. It is just shocking how prevalent it is. We know that you have a lot of teams, that follow you and in your demographic as fans. What would you say to those people in that demographic and to your fans out there who may be struggling right now?
No, that's a really good point. And
Yeah.
it's a really sad topic, but it needs to be spoken about, which I
Yes.
completely agree with. Coming from like our generation as well, right? We didn't have the phone.
Oh,
So I think that is the biggest proponent of if the kids out there can learn to separate themselves from social media and whatever bombardment they're receiving, and know that they are worth something. And they, bullying happened for us. It didn't come home with us.
Right.
It was at school. When you get home now, it's on your phone, it's on your instant messages, it's on TikTok, whatever it is. You need to be able to kind of just acknowledge that that's a certain level of non-realism. It doesn't exist. You turn your phone off, hey, I'm not being bullied anymore. So you'd be able to separate that, have your friends close to you, pick your tribe.
Oh, I
You
love
know what
that.
I mean? That's
Yeah.
what I have a young daughter. I tell her too. I go, you know what? You want to play with somebody and they're being rude to you? Go find somebody else that's going to love and care for you and be a supportive human being and individual. So organizations that you work with is really huge, and I would really support that for them. And just know that you are worth something, and just to be able to shut it off. Technology is a tool. It's not your life. So I hope that the kids out there can learn to kind of overcome these processes and reach out for help.
That's such a beautiful message. You mentioned that you have a daughter. Can we ask how old your daughter is?
She's 10.
Okay, so she's like in the thick of it. As a parent, I love what you said there.
Doesn't have an iPad. She gets to use ours as needed or as if she wants it, but we're always in the same room. We're very particular about all the things like that she watches on, like whether it's TV shows or games or even commercials. Like I've taught her now to like, some commercials pop in to where I'm like, that's an inappropriate commercial. I have no idea what it is. So we push mute on the TV when a commercial comes up.
Oh,
and I've got her to where like a commercial comes up, she goes, I don't care about your commercials. And she pushes mute and we talk for a minute, and then the show comes back on and we put it back on.
Oh my gosh,
so
so
being
smart.
able to separate that. But all this kind of stuff as well too. She worked with domestic violence abusers and companies with them, and so she's been a very big proponent about self-help, self-progression, internal workings of the human body and the mind and the spirit. So I think she's helped lay that template for me.
Off.
Yeah.
Ignore the thumb thugs. I call them thumb thugs, man. It's people out there with thumb thugs. That's what it is, though, right? Ignore them because they get a lot more bravery in them and courage. If you want to call it that, behind that keyboard. It's not the same in real life. You can't get that bully, man.
It's very true.
Man, Dorian, thank you so much. I can't wait to see you in more costumes, I guess, right?
Yes, exactly. My grandmother says the same thing. Sweetheart, when am I going to see your face? I go, Grandma, they pay me to cover it up.
I got a face for radio. You got a face for movies.
There you are.
You should be in a movie. Like you should be seen.
It just kind of worked out this way,
You know what though? I think we put it out there. Like it is. Thank you. Thanks so much. Thank you.
Now, did you catch that? He said that his mom is Lindsey Wagner. Now I talked to Miss Wagner, and this is all I got from her.
We are now here with Lindsey Wagner.
Yes.
We just spoke to your son, and he told us, he's like, you got to go talk to my mom. We're like, wait, who's your mom? And it's you. How proud of you are you of him? But how proud are you of him?
I know, that's what I said. I'm proud to be his mom.
Like, the role, I just talked to him, I was like, the role of Cad Bane is so huge. The reactions were huge. Like, he even said, I didn't know it was going to be that big. Like, right?
Well, you know, what's funny is that's the same thing that happened with Bionic Woman.
I wanted to ask you about that because you played Bionic Woman. You were in a $6 Million Man. Yes. How was that when you were in that role? Did you realize how iconic it was, or was it after you left that role?
No. Of course. Yeah. I mean, 3 weeks into airing the show, I couldn't go anywhere without people. I mean, I had to start shopping at night at 11 o'clock. I'm doing my grocery shopping.
And I saw the footage that I got saved from my interview with Miss Lindsey Wagner. But I did get to talk to Miss Lindsey Wagner about Death Stranding. I got to tell her how important that game was to me, and her demeanor completely changed, and you could see it touched her. She even talked about Hideo Kojima himself, and just said that he's a genius. I remember that it was a great conversation, and Death Stranding 2 out now. I have put in a couple hours so far, I gotta say it's amazing. I teared up during the intro. You get to see BB, because you remember Death Stranding 1. Spoiler. Death Stranding 1. He releases BB and takes him out. But now you get to see BB as a baby, which is cute. Is that the word? Sure. It's super cute. I mean, I got a picture over here. Let's see if we can get it up. Ah, there he is. There he is. Look at it. He's got a little angel wing thing on. So cool. So cool. But yeah, I just had to talk to you guys about that and share some little interview footage and stuff. So I'll be back. I'll talk more about Death Stranding 2 coming up. The more I put into it, I might have to bring Ryan McBain in too. That's gonna be a wild one there.